Hello, everyone, and welcome back to this episode of the Furtado Experience, the podcast and the YouTube series that leaves you feeling more conscious, more engaged, and more fulfilled in your life to magnify your impact where you are and on humanity. So, today I'm talking about impacting where our feet are. And I know I've talked about this, I've wrote about this before, but it's something that's really important to me. And one of the reasons that I'm creating this is because I am challenged by this. Sometimes I fall, I don't want to say victim, but I'm challenged by the thoughts in my head, and I really want to leave a lasting impact on humanity. I want to kind of be someone that really inspires people, and that when I leave this earth, that I make sure that I leave something here that to obviously remember me by, but to live by, some things that to impact people, and to really be mindful of our surroundings, and be mindful that our actions and have impacts on others. But sometimes I get a little too caught up on where I'm going and the legacy that I'm leaving, and all of these things that are a lot of times in my own head, and that I forget to impact where my feet are. And so what I mean by that is where am I at right now? I am currently in my apartment in Los Angeles, on this mic, speaking to you all. So for these next 6 to 10 minutes, I want to make sure that I am present here, impacting with my voice for you all. That's number one. That's like very simply. But also other things that I'm up to right now is I'm a substitute teacher. I'm a basketball coach for Royal Basketball School, which isn't like a basketball team. It's more so like a basketball kind of program. So I'm coaching a lot of different kids, and creating content right now, like I just mentioned. But also I'm a girlfriend. I'm not a girlfriend, but I have a girlfriend and I have a family, and like a lot of these other things is like sometimes that I can get carried away just thinking that my impact only matters in terms of my career, but impact happens in personal lives as well. And so making sure that we prioritize, especially myself, prioritize our families and the people and our loved ones that are close to us as well, instead of just focusing on the impact and the legacy and stuff that you're thinking about in the future. And it gets caught up in the head, and it can be the ego, it can be whatever it may be. So let's scale it back and really go into what does impacting where your feet are really truly mean. So for me, it's like if I get a call and I'm going to substitute teach at a certain school, a lot of times I've been really trying to figure out like where do I want to end up. Like I don't want to substitute forever, right? But right now I'm substituting, so I need to recognize and honor that's where my feet are at right now. I'm substitute teaching for a living right now. So let's go and do our best abilities to be the most impactful substitute teacher, right? Get to know the kids, get to know the teachers, be there, be in the role, and be the most helpful and generous, the most kind, the most uplifting, the most impactful substitute teacher that I can be. And so with that being said, we can carry that into basketball coaching, right? Eventually I want to be able to be a part of a team, right? Right now I'm just kind of coaching, a lot of drills, for those of you who don't know, a lot of drills, a little bit of game time, but it's mostly, coming back. It's like a basketball camp, but or like an after-school camp kind of sort of thing. I know eventually I want to coach. Of course, I want to be a head coach of my own teams, but I want to also be an assistant coach. I just like the team camaraderie right now, and a lot of times my thoughts kind of go off and drift to, I can't wait to coach this team and this team. But instead of focusing, and it's okay to plan and do some of that thinking. It's just sometimes it gets a little too much, and that's like a dialogue you're gonna have yourself, like, and that comes with that self-awareness piece. But with that being said, I want to really focus on how can I be the most impactful basketball coach and leader here. How can obviously I'm sharpening my tools and my skills for when I eventually am coaching a team, whether it's an assistant or a head coach for teams. Eventually I do have aspirations of coaching, at least in high school, but potentially in college. So we'll see. We can have like an aspirations day another day. but how can I be the most impactful? How can I, build relationships with the kids that I'm working with every day, that I can continue to work with them, obviously push them a little bit, but, get them to understand the game in a little bit better way and just learn to love the game. I think that's part of being a youth basketball coach, is helping them, love the game of basketball and love sport, to keep them active, right? Like, not be a coach that's like super drill sergeant-y, like you need to do this and that. You kind of have to cultivate and empower them to love the game themselves, because, my playing days are unfortunately limited to pickup basketball games and, maybe an adult league here sometime soon. But, with that being said, I really want to impact where my feet are, where I'm at right now, and that includes in my personal life as well, and being present in my personal life, making sure I'm spending quality time with my girlfriend, and making sure that I'm spending in touch with my parents and my family, and not just so focused on what the legacy that I'm going to leave for my career. Like, in terms of legacy and impact, it's everything, and we create our impact every day by our present moment actions. Like, we are a result of our actions, not what we're thinking and where we think we're going. It's our actions that matter the most. So, with that being said, that's really all I have today. It's a little, maybe a bit of a shorter episode, but I just want you to think about how you can impact more where your feet are, and it's okay to think a little bit in the future, of course. Just don't get carried away. Right, and it takes you out of the moment, it takes you out of your ability to make an impact with where your feet are today. And, it's an opportunity. You won't get this opportunity back, because I find myself missing a lot of especially the Boys and Girls Club, with where I was at last year. And I know I was like at a point in my life where I really wanted to go down this like entrepreneurial route and own my own business. And I just like wasn't always super present with the kids, because I was just looking elsewhere. And I think one of the most beautiful gifts we get is to be able to live every day and impact where our feet are every day. And if you think about it, like, just be, let those thoughts come and go. Like, you're going to have those thoughts, they're going to come up, but it matters how much you, I guess, entertain them. So I appreciate y'all listening to this, and I'd love to know, how are you impacting where your feet are? Tag me on Twitter, email me, send me an Instagram DM. Like, I want to know. I want to really build this community with you all. I'm working on a podcast right now. That it'll probably be a few months in the work, so it'll be mostly Furtado experience for the next couple months, but it's going to be really impactful. It's going to deal with some leadership, and I just want to hear from you all. Like, what do y'all think about this audio experience? Are you enjoying it? What do you like? What more content would you like me to make? But remember to subscribe on YouTube, follow on Spotify, subscribe on Apple Podcasts, leave it a review. That's how this grows. Send it to a friend. And I appreciate y'all for listening. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or evening for whenever you listen to this. Cheers, y'all.